Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Wednesday, December 21st, and I've got some fun news for you and wanted to share some tips on how I've dealt with rejection in the publishing industry the last 20 years. And then I just wanted to share a little heartfelt message for you. So hello, if you see this, jump in here, come on in. It's safe, I promise I won't bite. Hello to all you replayers. Please introduce yourself, say hello. Let me know you're here. All right, so for those of you who don't know me or who are new to this space, my name's Carrie Severson. I'm the Soulful Storyteller host. I'm an intuitive, a published writer, a performer, a stage performer, and a storyteller trainer. I've been in the publishing business for 20 years. Went to school at Arizona State, started writing for the school newspaper, and have been writing ever since. Let's see. I call myself a soul story healer because I feel the energy of story as an intuitive, and I like to help people move through their story from an energetic perspective and get in alignment so that they're sharing their story with the right energy to create the best possible ripple effect with your story. So, some tips on how I've dealt with rejection. First of all, I want to say that Arianna Huffington, obviously the founder of Huffington Post, she moved on from the Huffington Post and created a new platform called Thrive Global, thriveglobal.com. They do not pay, let me say that up front. They are looking for new contributors. I was invited to be a contributor of theirs. So I had my first piece published, which is 3 tips on how to address rejection. I'm not even sure how you become a contributor in here. Maybe it's a sign up thing, or you'll have to kind of move through and dig through thriveglobal.com to try to find a way for you to become a contributor. But it's Writing Wednesday, and I shared the piece that I had published. If you go to thriveglobal.com and you hit on, what is it? You hit on, I think it's journal. My piece is in here somewhere. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let me pull this up and find the piece. 3 ways. All right, so rejection happens often in the publishing business. We're rejected first and foremost sometimes by, excuse me, I always forget to turn that off, by the editor. Sometimes if we're writing books, we're rejected by the agent. Our first contact of rejection sometimes happens with who I refer to as the gatekeeper. They are the people that we're trying to convince to let us write for them to reach their audience. If we don't impress them, we face our first round of rejection. If we do impress them, sometimes we're even rejected by the audience. So storytelling, the reason I call storytelling the ultimate law of attraction tool is because it does require a ton of heartfelt, really juicy, delicious energy, because it's like a wave of self-love for us. And then whatever we're putting out in the world is going to create a ripple effect. The reaction that the audience has is really their doing. And if they're negative, sometimes that can be taken as rejection on our part. But it's important that we create our own sort of ritual and systematic practices to deal with that. So when I look at rejection, I look at it from both aspects, the first point of entry and the second point of entry. So last year, I have a publisher, Morgan James is my publisher, and I have 3 books on the market. But I really wanted to go into the traditional publishing realm with my manuscript on burnout, and I'm writing a second one on my fertility journey, and I'd like to write a third one on how I found happiness. So I went out with the real a full proposal, sending out emails to agents left and right, and the manuscript, my burnout manuscript, is really well put together. And I was rejected by agents because my platform numbers weren't what they wanted. And so that stung. But rather than look at it as a personal defeat, I decided to kind of pull up my bootstraps and look at why I was rejected, from staying detached from it and looking at rejection from a learning tool. So this is what I had published this week in Thrive Global, this idea on how we can learn from rejection and address rejection. So my first tip for you, if you're at that jumping off point where you don't even want to share your stories because you're afraid of rejection, take a look at the worst case scenario. What is it that freaks you out about having somebody say something that could potentially be taken as rejection? A lot of times it stops us in our tracks, and it's this old baggage that we're carrying around from childhood or from our early teens. So I like to actually freeform write and journal about worst case scenarios if I'm ever in that stuck point of, what if this isn't taken right? What if people say negative things about me? So ask yourself what you're really afraid of, write down what comes to you, and then take it one step further and tell a trusted soul sister, soul brother, soul mate, a trusted coach. Tell somebody that you trust with your heart and soul what came up for you in that journaling exercise, and ask them to help you move through it. If it's an investment you have to make in a coaching program, if it's a trade you have to do with a friend who's a trusted coach, give yourself that space though to really address it, because so oftentimes I find that people aren't writing or aren't sharing their stories because they're paralyzed by the fear of being rejected. But my dear sweet storytellers, rejection is part of the publishing world. It's just a matter of how we move through it. The second tip I shared is get into a supportive groove. So make sure that you set up your writing practice and your writing habit with things like rituals, like you're going to meditate first, you're going to exercise first, and then you're going to journal, or you're going to write for 20 minutes. Or you go out, you write from a coffee shop that you feel really supported in. Or you find a supportive storytelling group where you are able to sort of vent out the rejections that you face by editors or agents. In my opinion, rejection is simply just a redirect. That's how I've chose to look at it over the last 20 years. Whenever I'm out pitching personal essays to magazines and I'm not contacted back by the editor, I look at it as a pass. When I'm flat out rejected by the editor, I look at it as, okay, there's a place better for this story to go. Now my job is to find a new home for it and try the pitching process again. So get into a supportive groove. So when rejection does happen, that you're able to understand that it's the best thing that could possibly happen for your story. So your story is seen by a different outlet that matches it better. And then really flip your mind around rejection being a negative into a redirect. The final tip that I have is, so writing is obviously, we're reading it, we're absorbing it through one set of senses. If we're on stage, we're usually our audience is absorbing it from another set of senses. I actually like to incorporate a third sense. I have a vision board that sits out right in front. My desk is usually over here. I decided to try this space out in my sanctuary. But my vision board is always front and center, and I have images of the actual places I welcome the opportunity to be published in. I have images of audience members and their facial expressions of when they absorb my material. So I incorporate that that additional layer into my business to remind myself that my stories are powerful. I'm a powerful storyteller, and the people who read my work, who see my work, who absorb my work are moved by my work and moved by my stories. And that for me is a visual aspect as well. So I create a vision board and keep it by my desk. So let me know if those tips land for you, if they feel good for you. And if you're paralyzed, with the idea of rejection, let me know if I can help you kind of move through that, because there is a definite opportunity for you to share more stories in 2017. So this morning, I'm an intuitive. I meditate every day. I listen to guidance every day on where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. And this morning, unexpectedly, I got this guidance to create a $40 holiday gift for my clients. So a year ago, I started this storytelling. I really stepped into the storytelling business. I actually created it in 2014, but I really didn't do anything with it until last year. A year ago, I would have never guessed I had online storytelling courses. I would have never guessed I was, the host of a storytelling Facebook group with more than 600 folks in it. And I'm still humbled and honored and surprised at times that I've actually gotten the opportunity to share this light of storytelling with more than 100 people who have purchased online courses this year. So what I decided to do was create a promo code, Holiday 2016, all lowercase, all one word. And if you go into the description on the right-hand side of our Facebook group, you'll see links to all of the e-courses that I've created over the last year. There's Your Connection Story is a storytelling e-course for those in the network marketing business who are looking for more tools on learning how to incorporate their story into their conversation. Storytelling Your Way to Success is the introductory e-course. Pitching and Publishing is my database course on how I've created a freelance business for myself. And then Journal to Happy is the year-long journaling and self-love course. Feel free to use the promo code Holiday 2016 and you'll get a $40 discount on anything you purchase before the end of the year. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. Otherwise, my dear sweet friends and soulful storytellers, I'm sending you lots of love for a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoy your storytelling journey. Until next time.